ourselves, and we think, wow, maybe I'm not attractive enough. Maybe I'm easily, forgotten about. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to get a man to pick me and choose me and keep me. And so when we're with a guy, it doesn't matter who the guy is. If we have those doubts, we're acting out those doubts in the present. Even if we're with Prince Charming, those doubts are there. So it's really about how we feel about ourselves. And we're not really seeing you at that moment. We're just seeing men. And we're looking more at ourselves and worrying, wow, am I able to get the love that I have always longed for? So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, can I throw something in there?
Please, I have, Brother Mike. Go ahead.
So for me, which I can understand that, and I feel that. But for me, what makes it my pet peeve is the fact that, I can understand a person feeling a certain way and having reservations, and I'm cool with that. But what the problem becomes is when you start reacting based off of how you feel, not considering the facts of the matter. And
come on, it's women. We're going to react on how we. Women don't think, we feel, and a lot of times we think feeling is thinking.
She said it.
But that's the way we are.
I'm just saying though, too.
And I hate to generalize.
You're not ready. Like, why is that a crime to just not be ready to start off on that journey from the beginning all over again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that a crime?
I'm not saying it's a crime. I said it's a pet peeve of mine because what it does is several things. One, it's cheating me out of enjoying you as a mate because you have these reservations based off of what the last guy did. And you're not even giving us a chance to enjoy our moment and taking it for what it is. So we're missing portions of our relationship just because of the fact that you haven't been able to get over that. Nor do you want to, like, if you start, to me, like I said, I don't have a problem that a person has these reservations because I'll be the first to tell anybody, based off of certain things that I've been through, it gave me trust issues. But as I grow with it and I understand that about myself, then before I react to, something that I see that may remind me of something else, I have to do a self-check and say, now, is it just me tripping? Or is it, this is something valid and real? Before I just start reacting off of it and then doing something crazy, going around sniffing underwear and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I've heard stories. I've heard stories.
The issue for women is that it's really, really hard for us to go beyond the feeling, because once we feel the feeling, we stop. We're like, okay, that's it. That's the truth. I feel this, and we don't look beyond the feelings because to us our feelings are real. And, we make our feelings paramount over the actual situation. But my thing is, I don't know, and we're kind of talking more, I think, about dating and being married are two different balls of wax completely. But I know for me, like I would just say, like with dating, I think, and this may sound controversial, but I think as far as being in a relationship and dating and marriage and all of that, it's very woman-centered in a lot of ways. Like we expect men to act like women. And I think a lot of men lie. They resort to lying because we don't really let a man be a man. Like we recognize, like, boom, okay, you're attracted to me, fine. We're dating, we're exclusive, you're not being with anyone else, and that's that. And that's just not the way a man kind of typically operates. But we put these requirements on them, and it's like, boom, the chains come down instantly. And they really can't deliver, a lot of them, especially the way a lot of men are being raised today with their own issues. They're not mentally prepared to put forth that commitment, especially so soon. But we require that, and then we put them in a situation where they do have to lie. And that's just kind of my observation.
Once again, she said that, not me. Unsolicited. An unsolicited testimony.
But that's that's just from one perspective, because I do agree with what you guys are saying is true. But on the other hand, like sometimes you just not on it and you just not ready, and that's a real thing. And I think there's some wisdom attached to that too, because you're not going to just go with another smiling face and be ready to gun ho and sit across from somebody and hear their whole life story all over. No. Not when you fresh out of something that, no.
Okay, interesting. Pet peeves. We're talking about your biggest pet peeves with the opposite sex. And, and I do have to say, for the women, for the record, like what Tawana and Dominique are talking about, I'm going to be honest with y'all girls, I feel bad for y'all. I really do. It's ugly out there. It's ugly out there.
Thank you.
And you girls really, and I hate to sound negative, but the stacks are against you. The odds are against you.
I agree.
And so what you are dealing with, yes, what you're dealing with, the lies, the omissions, the manipulations, what I found is particularly, lately this could be an old person looking in at these young children and saying, that's all I'm going to hell. What I noticed is that men, or young men, particularly these days, feel more, emboldened to embrace many different women at once. The numbers are in their favor.
Yeah,
it is. It really is. I try to explain it to people.
They know it. They'll articulate it.
Yeah, they know it.
Yeah.
And then I try to explain it to people, and they be like, oh, you're just being negative. I'm like, no, I'm saying facts. This is what it is.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. And the more education you get, the worse off it is for you. Sorry. That's the way
they do know. Yeah, they know. They know the numbers are going, what's going on, and they're taking advantage of it. And,
absolutely. Yeah.
And
Nella, let me tell you what makes it worse. There's women out there who allow them to do that as well because they look at the situation and they're like, well, I just don't want to be alone. So I'm willing to take half of a man. Yeah, I'll take whatever he gives, and that way when he meet you, he's like, well, what's your problem? Every other girl takes I give her 20% and she's happy with that. How dare you ask for more? Like, what's wrong with you? And you looking at him like, what the hell is 20%? I can't do nothing with this. And he looking at you like every other girl would die for my 20%. Like,
exactly.
And listen, no, this is a true story. Like, they will compare you to ball players and celebrities who, like, marry their baby mama after, like, 10 years of whatever their situation. And I just be having to tell them, like, that's not me. Like, look, she hung in there, and now she got him, got his ring. Like,
you're a tree hugger.
Right.
So somewhere along the line between birth and now, you got the game messed completely up. Like,
yeah, it's true.
No, it's
and
bad.
I do
bad
see that. It is. It really is. And like you say, when you have that cultural influence now, where you have all of these shows, Love and Hip Hop, and all of these other shows out here, where you have these women who are not only willing to settle, but actually quite happy. For many years. Bearing the babies and still being the side chick, and it's really a cultural phenomenon that has just exploded in recent years. So as a young person who is unmarried and you're dealing with men who have been influenced by this situation and feel that they have an advantage, you're going to have to turn a lot of situations down. There's going to be a lot of men who are going to be approaching you, and you're going to have to size the situation up and say, no, thank you.
You have sung my anthem.
Yeah. And then let me tell you, there's a lot of women who look at these shows and look at the way these women act, and they think it's like a badge of honor. Like, oh, I've been with him through thick and thin. I've been abused. He done cheated on me. I done made it for real. He gonna give me the ring. Like that.
Yes. I know relate to like every pop song that says it, and it really is a badge of honor. Like, oh well, the other chick on the side, she ain't got nothing on me. I was with him before all of that.
I'm the main chick. Right. Yes, I'm the main
girl. And it's like the best years of your life. And I'm not judging nobody's situation. I'm just talking about my single self, because at least they got 20% that they're happy about. But my single self, like,
look, at least they got that 20. They got that 20.
Right. So those, because you got you a man, and I don't. But I mean, for real, it's like you.
I'll be doing that. I'll be like, well, I ain't mad at her for getting married. I'm like, she got somebody. I'm
right.
Throwing up to events alone. I'm like, this is not cute.
I don't have that chip. I just don't got it.
Right. And it's good to recognize that. I know, like, when I was dating, a lot of it, my time, especially when I got into my late 20s, and like I think I mentioned in a couple of shows back, I had the dating advantage when I started out. It was just like, everybody wanted a piece. No, I'm kidding.
No. I know what you're talking about. Listen,
all right, look,
I reminisce. I sit back and I be like, I remember the days, whatever I wanted, whatever I could call it.
Right.
And like, hit them at the door.
As you get older, and God,
would that be saying then that karma has reared its
You said what?
I don't know. I don't think that's karma, Brother Mike.
Listen, Brother Mike,
the law
I'm paying for it.
Where it just, before it was the scales was tipped in your favor, and it's like, hey, this is great.
But I was young.
Yeah.
What about the rules? I couldn't have been trying to be serious when I was young. Come on.
Hey.
And then, like you said, you get into your late 20s. I think that's when it started for me, my mid to late 20s. And the men started realizing they had the advantage. They started getting slicker. And I was like, I don't think I can compete. I thought I was a player. I thought I could, could hang, but y'all too slick for me. I could, it was too much. And so I had to take myself out of the game. And I had to realize that, wow, for me, it's got to be all or nothing. But I got to be okay with the nothing.
Yeah.
And don't let them suck you into that. Like, they'll try to suck you into that. Like, if you know you're an all or nothing person.
I get approached by men trying to persuade me to accept 20%. It's like, why don't you want to accept it? Please just accept it. What's wrong with you that you don't want to accept it?
These are quotes. It's going to benefit you. You'll enjoy it. You're missing out. These are quotes. Exact quotes.
Brother Mike, what was you about to say?
I was just going to say, see, when you look at it from a standpoint of you understand now, I could probably be shot for saying this information that I'm about to reveal.
You love your sister. That's all that is.
Let's give him the flow. I need to hear these words of wisdom.
I hope y'all appreciate what I'm about to say.
I appreciate him. Give him complete silence.
All love.
So, what it is, a man is basically he's going to take a shot, plain and simple. He's going to, it's just like you got to look at it almost in the same sense as with capitalism. Capitalism is basically going to try to, take advantage or benefit off of a situation. So, there's a lot of men out there who's going to take that shot, and especially if they've been successful at it. So the more successful they're at something, the more they're going to continue to try it. The less successful that they are at it, then they're going to say, oh, well, that doesn't work. And, either they're going to move on or they're going to fly straight. So really a lot of the power that, sisters have within their hands, sometimes it's not exercised with the proper mind frame.
Okay, can we say that again?
Yeah, of how to, really how powerful y'all are in that situation. Because at the end of the day, you're looking at it that the scales are tipped in men's favors only from a numbers perspective. But men have been always the one, every man wants? A good woman. Every man wants a woman. Unfortunately, as we started off saying that, some of the things that shaped and mold us as men, as far as, upbringing and stuff like that, it's acceptable for a man to sow his wild oats and things like that, and to try to conquer as many women as he possibly can before he settles down. But the double standard is it's unacceptable